Oh, no. If I had a nickel for every time I do this, I'd have a lot of nickels. There we go. Now it's turned on. Well, hello, and welcome back, everybody. It's nice to see you. It's nice to be here. Good, warm, sunny winter's day. And no better time to do some live code than right now while we're alive. Am I right? Okay. So, let me give you... Well, first of all, there's a little too much light in here. Let me adjust the camera just real quick. I think that'll be right. Okay, there we go. That looks about right. So, quick recap. I've got more pull requests to do on Webinstall.dev. So, I'm just going to go through them. There's not much of a recap more than that. For those of you that are joining in, hello, I'm AJ. It's nice to have you here. Feel free to comment and chat. We can go off topic. It's just the weekend. We're hanging out. We're coding. And I'm going to go ahead and open up some focus and get started. So, without further ado, let's have a word from our sponsor, but not really our sponsor, Mr. Mountain Dew, for it is time to open focus. That's right, my friends. I hope you pop a top as well. Let us drink together. All right. Let's see. Where am I at here? Let's see. I got a bunch of these. This one I think is good to go. This one I don't know about. I think that one is going to get dropped. I think this one's going to get dropped. I think that one's going to... I don't know. I think some of these might get dropped. Let's just go from top to bottom and work through it. So we've got add shell check and Vim Jshint to Vim Essentials. That I think is good. Let me actually get the screen a little bit smaller here. I made it bigger for the intro, but we don't need it so big. We're just adding a few things. Yeah, this is totally kosher. Basically, when you do Vim Essentials, it wasn't installing the Vim shell formatter, and now it is. So that was a mistake. That was an oops. The oops has been fixed. And let's see, Webi Jshint and Webi shell check. Yeah, so we need to make sure that both of those are installed. I wonder if there's anything else where I need to make sure that's installed. But those two kind of go together. I'm not sure if really the Webi shell check should go in with Webi Jshint, that maybe it should go in with Vim Ale. I think possibly it should go in with a Vim Ale as well. But in any case, I think maybe let me research this real quick. Vim Ale shell check. Let's see if that's what is actually doing this. Okay. I think that it should install on both. Ale linters shell check. Yeah. I'm actually going to have that installed on both. So let me go into beta here. And I'm going to update that PR right now. So beta.webinstall. And we're going to go into shell check is under the installers, Vim. I'm going to grab from here. Oops, I'm going to look at that install.sh. And I'm just going to copy this same thing. I wonder, Vim Ale Jshint, does it do Jshint as well? It seems that it does. So we might actually we might not need Vim Jshint. Let's see. I'm gonna take a look here. They usually, what is it? Jshint in this repository. Yeah, so it looks like both of those should be included in Vim Ale. So I'm going to just go ahead and copy that over. Vim Ale, and then 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Oh, whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Install.sh. Yeah, I think I'm just going to leave this one as is. I say, P.S. Don't forget to install Jshint and shell check. Oh, sorry. How about this? Note, don't forget to install these other great, don't forget to install the formatters. Formatters? Such as, there we go. Webi, oops, I guess we'll want, let's see, let's do single backslash here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we should put Jshint, shell check. I guess technically that should go here. Shell check, prettier. And I don't actually have a Jshint, but I'm going to add in Jshint. We're going to do that one the same as prettier. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, P, E, F. Yeah, these are now in alphabetical order. There we go. And what is this complaining about? Want to escape a single quote? This is how it's done. Yeah. Okay, just because it's complaining and that could be confusing to the reader, I will reconsider. Let's see. Does it complain now? No, I do not want to escape a single quote. What did you do? What did it do? Okay, it's giving me info, but I don't want that. Let me figure out how to get rid of that real quick. Shell check. Enumerated shell check rules. Escape single. Escape. Yeah, there we go. All right, let me go do this. Oh. Shell check disable equals like that, right? Now it's not going to complain? Nope. Oh, maybe let's spell it right. Spell shell check. Spell Jshint. There we go. Spell Webi. Spell Jshint. Spell Webinstall. Yeah, just add a bunch of things to the spelling here. Spell, let's see, is lent in the dictionary? Lent is in the dictionary, but lenters is not. I'm going to add that. There we go. Just a bunch of words that are in here that I should have added in my dictionary a long time ago. All right, so that's looking good. And then let's go ahead and add Jshint. So I'm going to take prettier, and we're going to have whoops, not Vim prettier. We just want prettier, period. And I'm going to create Jshint out of that. So Jshint install.sh. Let's replace prettier with Jshint. Alrighty. Oh, bless me. I think I actually need to move this up to there. And then I think I need to change this again. So the problem is what I need is I need old path equals path. Set-e, set-u. And then here I need to export path equals old path. I think that that's the right thing to do. Let's see. Oh, hello, welcome. I'm AJ. I'd love to know who you are and what brings you here today. I am going through some bash scripts. I am adding an installer for Jshint to Webi. Just kind of as an aside to doing this other stuff. We're just hanging out and coding, so feel free to ask questions. Drag me down any rabbit holes you like. Of course, I am always free to decline. Okay. So then we can do this again. Yeah. A little bit of rigmarole, but this is so that the right messages print out to the screen to the user. There we go. Okay. That should be good. And then what else do we want to do? I think also with Vim Essentials, we should run prettier here, and we should run shell check, schfumped, and Jshint. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. Okay. And then everywhere there's prettier, let's replace that with Jshint. And let's see here. To update or switch versions, run. There we go. Example readme. To update or switch versions, yep, good. And then what about this one? To update or switch versions, run Jshint. There we go. Yeah, that looks about right. Let's see. And what is Jshint officially called? Is it with a space or without a space? Let's try this out real quick. Oh no, what did I do? Type too fast. Don't forget to update the title. Yes, thank you very much, Vince. I appreciate that. I will do that as I'm going along here. Jshint.com. Let's go to the About page. That makes a lot more sense to say that's the home page, honestly. And it is Jshint like so. All right. And what do we call this? Static analysis tool for JavaScript. Yeah, okay. Oh, I love this. Let's see if we finally you can afford to satisfy your lust for power. Oh, that's good. All right, let's see if they've got a good one-liner. I think that's pretty good right there. Or this one. I kind of want a little bit of both of that. I don't necessarily take this part from websites. I usually write it myself. But occasionally, what's on the website makes sense. Actually, what was here before about... This makes sense. Yeah, I'm gonna go with this one. Let's get rid of our goal there. Let's see. Okay. And I don't really care about this flexible, blah, 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 blah. This is what I want to let people know about it. And let's put a little bit of attribution here, just so it's clear that this was directly taken from their site. There we go. Okay, and I actually don't know, gosh. Okay, Jshint works best when it's integrated with your editor, such as Vim or VS Code. And then let's see, Jshint and what do I want to look for here? I think your substitute was case sensitive. Oh yeah. I'm gonna go through piece by piece. I'll get it. Thank you very much. Let's see. What was I saying here? Jshint. I was looking for something or other. Oh, VS Code. I was looking for the VS Code page for Jshint. Let's see. So yeah, such as Vim. And then for this one, let's see, such as Vim with Vim Ale, or VS Code. However, you can also use it from the CLI. And I actually don't know what all of these are. And I'm probably going to want some similar bits here in terms of how do we ignore files, what's a good Jshint RC to start with. And I also might want to update the prettier README, because this prettier should be prettyrc.json. So I'm going to go ahead and update that as well. And I don't know if we have a Jshint ignore file. But let's see, how do we use Jshint from the command line? Jshint CLI. So Vince, where are you from? What do you do? What brings you to the channel today? You appear to be a newcomer. Of course, I normally stream a lot later, so I get people on the other side of the world more than people on my own continent. Let's see. Jshint my file, tree a directory, Jshint, and then directory name. Okay, cool. Special options, overrides. Oh, okay, overrides. That's an important thing to know. Ignoring files. Jshint ignore. There we go. All right, learn something new every day, and it is indeed spelled exactly the same. Cool. All right, now I'll do my case. Oh, whoops, reverse way. Here we go. Prettier Jshint from CLI. It's recursive by default. There we go. Tell you what, Vim's spell has saved my bacon so many times. I feel somewhat about Webi, meaning Webinstall.dev, as Douglas Crockford feels about JSLint. It has taught me more than I have taught it. I have learned how to do so many things better as I've been trying to make it easier to share with other people and create these cheat sheets and stuff, because I actually think, how do I do this? And then I find things, I should have been using this for years. I have improved more in the past. I mean, so I've been developing for 10 plus years, 15 years. I don't know. So, but just in the last year, I've learned so many little nuanced details that everybody ought to know. Okay. Let's see. How to check files in a project. Let's see. Project files. Let's call that project files. Files with Jshint. Let me think about this. Do I want to put this here? There we go. Use it from the CLI. All right. Check all files in a project. Ignore certain files. Apply override rules. Rule overrides. Check out from the CLI. here we'll cover, check out the official docs at there we go. For more info. All right. Where does the do not use package.json come from? Package.json. Huh, I don't know how that got into my tell Jshint. I don't know how that got in my copy buffer. Oh, this is probably the old one. Okay. Give Jshint a list of files and or directories to check .js files. How to make Jshint, and I do this to try to make make it SEO friendly. What is a person going to actually type? I try to think in terms not of how would I tell a person, but rather how would a person ask, is what I try to do when I'm writing the titles here. How to make Jshint ignore files. Yeah. Create a .jshint ignore to tell Jshint which files to ignore every time. Also, one thing that I didn't put in here that I ought to put in here is a files section. Typically, I put files, let's see, files modified by this installer. No. I'll put the section up here above the cheat sheet, actually. These files may be added and or modified. And then let me go grab the normal list, envman. I'm just going to copy from this one. I should actually put this in the example now. I'm going to go move that over to the example indeedy. Let's go put that before the cheat sheet. Let's see, local bin foo. Local opt foo. Yeah, at some point I need to go update everything and have those in there. Have the list of files that are modified. Let's do this. This one is particularly, let's see here. It will modify op node. I guess that's pretty, that's all, that really is what it is. Is it's going to install, it's going to install node. Yeah, so I'm going to go put this into prettier as well, which is going to be pretty much the same thing. And I'm going to go change prettier to have this style of update or switch versions. There we go, get rid of that. Okay. How to make JS, ignore, I'm going to say certain files. Yeah. Alright, and this is going to be reasonable defaults. How to set reasonable defaults. How to set Jshint defaults. There we go. And then I'm actually going to grab from my Jshint RC. Whoops, I don't have one here. Let's see, I've got one here. Jshint RC. And these are the actual defaults that it comes with. I wonder, where did I get that from? I should put this right here. Yes. I'm going to take this and make sure this link is in the cheat sheet. Boop a doop. So let's do that. The list of all of Jshint's default options can be found here. However, I recommend the value of Jshint is in reducing, let's see. The value of Jshint is the subset of JavaScript that you use down to a very safe and easy to learn subset. I recommend these. Each project should have a, I'm jumping around here. My thoughts are going in multiple directions at the same time, so I'll just jump back and forth. But I need to, this is the most important part. Each project should have a .jshint RC in its root. Each project you create, there we go, you should put, you should put a Jshint RC in the root of each, in the root of the repository of each of your projects. And I was going to say something more about that. This will be read by code tools such as Vimale and, again, VS Code. So I think I need to put the whatchamajigs on the outside for that one. I think I'll put it on the outside for this one too, just because I'm not sure if the color changes when we have both the backticks and it's a link. But I'm just going to go back to this one. and then paste these again. In fact, maybe I should just put this up at the top here. Maybe I just put them ale. Is it like this? I forget. I forget what it's like. I think it's this. Them ale. Nope, that's not it. Jshint defaults. We could do this. Let's make this a lot easier to read in total. VS Code Jshint. Okay, VS Code Jshint. Thank goodness for syntax highlighting. Otherwise, I wouldn't know if I'm getting it right or not. And then same thing here. We can just do them ale. And where did those defaults go? Actually, I think I kind of do want this to be exactly what it is. I'll just put it up here anyway, just as a reference of these are links that are in this thing. I'll think more about it later. Okay, official docs. I'm going to go with Jshint CLI for this one. Jshint CLI. Let's go back up here and put that as well. Jshint CLI. Boom. There we go. Bum, 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 bum. All right. Do you use Jshint? If so, what's your rule of thumb as to how to apply the various rules? Do you have a link to your dot files or anything? I need to create a dot files directory. I mean repository. I just kind of copy them. I have them. There's not really that many that I have. Almost everything I put up on Webinstall.dev. Oh, you know what else I should do? I am going to do this. We're going to go with this. I'm going to go with .jshint.rc.tpl.txt. There we go. Maybe .webi.txt. I'll just put this as these are my suggestions kind of thing. Or maybe just .webi. No, I want to keep the .txt. I guess technically it's a JSON file, so maybe it should be .json5. Maybe I should put as the extension. I don't know. I'll think about that later. Then I could put comments in it. Let's see. I'll just put it as .json. Okay, anyway. Let's get back down here to where the business is. Okay, and what I was going to do here was put them ale. Is that going to work out? Do I need to do it like this? I think that should work. And, whoops. So these ones, I think I think for that, I think I put it inside VS Code Jshint. But I don't think I can put it inside on this one. I could be mistaken. Yeah, it won't work like that because of the way the code block works. Let me see if it'll work like this. No, it's got to be done like that. Got to put because there's an inline code block here, you can't put the underscores on the outside of the inline code block. And I don't know if that's just a problem with my tool, or if that is per spec, or what the deal is there. Okay, full list of JS hints. Bash. Let's say touch. Jshint RC. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do an echo. Maybe I'll even do EOF. Like that. There we go. Yeah. These are the options we recommend. If you'd like to use the options we recommend, just copy and paste this. I got to think about this a little bit, actually. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to let me go to mine. Jshint RC TPL PB copy. I think I'm going to do this. .jshint rc.defaults.json5. And then I'm going to do .webi.json5, and that is what I'm going to do. Doing it full send. And then I'm going to say, oh wait, am I in prettier by mistake here? I am indeed in prettier by mistake here. Let me get out of that. Get back into Jshint. Okay, so we're going to take, I'm going to go back over here, and we're going to call this Jshint rc.webi.json5. And then we're going to have .defaults.json5. And since they put their example as JSON5, that's why I'm going with JSON5. Let's see, and I am going to go check what they have here on their site. Let me go back to where this was taken from and see if it has not been updated. I'm just gonna update it. You know what? Maybe I can just grab it from here. Yeah, I think I'll grab it from here. So jshint install.sh, we're going to have Webi download, and we're going to give it this, and we're going to download that to .jshint.rc.defaults.json5. And I'm going to say or true to that. Because there might be cases where the home directory actually isn't writable. That would be really weird, but And then the other one we'll go with, let's see, Webi download. This is done a lot in the Vim stuff. Where's one of the Vim ones? Is it not? Now I need to go look at one of the Vim ones, like Vim spell, for example. How does it do it? Oh, do we force the use of curl here? That actually is a mistake, because that should be Webi download. That should not be forcing curl, because the person may have curl or wget installed, and Webi download accounts for that. All right. Or maybe a mistake. I'll have to think on this a little bit more. Because this won't work. Okay. Yeah, so if, and then else. Oh, that's a big else. Is this whole... No, that can't be the else. Where's my fee for this one? Fee is right here. Okay. Great. So we're going to have the download path. Okay, I'm just going to put this, determine the URL to download. That's that one. Determine the location to download to. Yeah, I don't know if I actually want to use this. I think I might go do it the way that I've been doing it in the Vim stuff. Because reasons. Because that's specifically meant for the package download, and something could go wrong in a weird way that I don't actually want to have to account for. So I'm just going to say, yeah, this will work if and only if curl's installed, and that's okay for now. Okay. All right, there we are. And then I do need the variable Webi host. And I need to remember, let me go look at this real quick, Webi host. And hello to those of you joining in. I'm just going through some stuff on Webinstall. I started out doing just looking at some pull requests, but then, as always happens, I go down the rabbit hole and add some more things. So, but this is good. This is how Webi gets bigger and better. Although bigger is not always better, but you know, when I sit down, I do a little bit more work than I intended every time, and that's generally speaking good. Okay. Okay, so this will be Jshint RC. Good, making sure I'm not messing anything up here. And then this one will be the same, jshint.rc.webi.json5. And then we're going to go, whoops, on this, we're going to go with Webi host packages. And then this one is going to be Jshint. Am I specifying that in the other one? Let me go check real quick. Was it Vim spell? No. Where was I grabbing that from? I was grabbing that from somewhere. Vim spell. No. I think I was grabbing it from SSH add user. Okay, that's probably what I was grabbing it from. All right, that's fine. Let me go back here. My command equals, in this case, jshint. There's not much use in putting a variable here. the other ones I did it that way because they follow this very particular format. Okay. This doesn't follow the same format as the others. In terms of it's the name of the package and the name of the sh file are one and the same. All right, jshint.rc. .jshint.rc.webi.json5. Okay, cool. End of file while looking for matching quote. Okay, that went away. Good. I was going to say that should not be the case. All right, let me go back into the README then. And what I'm going to say is actually, here's the thing that I don't like about this. jshint.rc Webi is that there's not. Let's see. Is there a simple way for me to say that any line with a comment can be taken out? We'll only do single line comments, and we'll strip out anything that comes after a comment. To strip comments from this file, sd star doot .jshint. Let's see. Actually, could I do this with sed? Let me see if I could do this with sed. If I wanted to copy this file without comments. Copy this file into your project without comments. I think we would do this, right? And then .jshint rc, right? Let's see if this will work. Hey everybody, I'm AJ. I see that you've joined in. I'd love to know who you are, where you come from, what brings you to the channel tonight. I am just going through, right now I'm adding Jshint to Webinstall.dev because I've wanted to do it for a little while, but I haven't had much incentive because it's so simple to do. But it is something I recommend to other people a lot, using Jshint, and it's something that I think should be included with Vim Essentials, because Vim Essentials, what I was originally starting out with was adding sh format and shell check to Vim Essentials, because the binaries weren't being installed for those, but the linters were being installed, and so I just updated it so that it's included the binaries. And with Vim.ale supports Jshint, and so it makes sense that Jshint should be installed with Vim Essentials as well, alongside Prettier. And then I think it kind of makes sense to put the TypeScript server in there as well. That might be a bridge too far. I've got to think about that one. I think that would be one of the next things I do, because I would like to have I don't like TypeScript, but I like the TypeScript type, the JavaScript type linting that you get from the TypeScript linter. But that might be a little too far. I think Jshint is very conservative. Prettier is very conservative. I do need to add something in the cheat sheet about how to disable Jshint, I suppose, if you want to just use ESLint, because ESLint doesn't work on JavaScript files. It only works on the theoretical language, ECMAScript 20xdx. So Jshint works on actual JavaScript that runs in browsers, whereas the whole AcademicScript thing is a rabbit hole. But there is no language that exists that is actually implemented in Node or in web browsers for the kind of things that ESLint checks for. There is no language that actually exists for TypeScript or for these possible potential future plugins to JavaScript or future additions or changes to the language. They're not, if they're not actually deployed, then they're not real. You know, even if technically there's a spec for them, which I don't know if there is a spec for TypeScript at all. Anyway, you get what I'm saying. But yeah, I would love to know any questions that you have. I am a developer with, I guess, 15 years or so of experience. I'm just going to put a link to creedsofcraftsmanship.com, creedsofcraftsmanship.com, best dev resources. This is something that I'm curating and putting together over time, where I find just really solid software engineering talks or things like that. I'll put in there. Okay, let me see if this is going to work. Basically, I want to say edit this file. I forget how you do this. I should know how to do this. But I want to edit the file, and I want to stream the file to this other file, right? Is that what we're... I think that's what we're saying here. So if cannot read no such file or directory, okay, then I think I've done this in the wrong order. Okay, cool. So let's put one in there. jshint rc.webi.json5. Yo, I'll say that's all that we got. Did we end up with a jshint rc that has the yo missing? Okay, I also want to delete to the end of the line on that one. So I want to include white space on this. So how could I include white space? So could I do \n star? Would that do it? Nope, that's not doing it. Could I do mg? That seems like that would be a bad deal because it would just get rid of everything. No, that's not going to work. Okay. /n/r/space/not space. That might be the better thing to do. Okay, this one's wicked. Well, let's see here. No. All right. Sed delete line ending. I don't think I actually want to do that, though. I don't know if I do or not. Okay. /r $. That looks too complex. I want to keep things that are relatively simple. Yeah, okay, this is what we're going with here, is I'm just going to say, you know what, it's okay, there's going to be some empty lines, that's fine. The purpose here is really just to make sure that the file copies over without the comments. So anything, we're just going to delete to end of line, and we're going to call that good. And there's nothing more necessary here. Okay, so jshint rc.webi.json5. There we go. So doing this will get rid of comments. All right. Recommended Jshint default settings from Webinstall.dev/jshint. There we go. Yeah. And then this way, no matter which way we do it in terms of if I were to put comments like this, or if I were to put comments like this, either way is going to work. All right. And the reason that I allow sub, meaning subscripting, is because of type linting. Normally, I would say you don't want to allow this. But I find in the cases, if you are fairly disciplined in the way that you write your code, you won't use subscripting when it's not necessary, except for when it stylistically matches. So for example, when you're dealing with HTTP headers, I would rather have the whole list of HTTP headers be defined in a consistent way rather than have some of them with dots and some of them not. So for example, content type, I'll give you an example real quick. Let's just prototype this out just in this file because this is what I've got open. So this one, for example, would be content type, X, right? Blah, and then we have authorization. Oops. What am I doing? Blah. And if you want to reference that, then it would become, let's say that this was var headers equals, then headers, and then you'd have to reference content type this way. But then authorization would be referenced this way. And I just don't like that as much. I'd prefer to be able to say, this is a key value pair mapping. It's not an object. And so hence it looks that way. That's my reasoning. That's my rationale for that one. I ought to go over my rationale for this at some point in the future. Let's see, max statements, 100, max complexity. I think this should probably be closer to 25. Max depth 4. If you're getting beyond those, then you're, I don't know, I'll have to update these over time. But, yeah, I don't know. 3, 4, yeah. Max depth 3 is probably too much for most people. Anyway. These are just defaults. That's all they are. Okay. Copy this file into your projects. Run this. There we go. Okay, I feel good about that now. Hey, what's up? Welcome. I'm AJ, and we're just live coding and hanging out. I am working on some PRs for Webi. I'm currently adding a cheat sheet for Jshint because I decided in the moment that I've known that I wanted Jshint on here for a while. It's so easy to install with NPM. It's kind of a moot point, but just because. I decided to do it just because. And so I'm adding my cheat sheet right now. And kind of figuring out what I want that to be. So anyway, I'd love to know where you're from, what brings you to the channel today. And if you've got any questions for me, it doesn't have to be related to Jshint or Webinstall.dev. Could be other stuff. I'm happy to answer them. I really do like it when we have some back and forth. I know who the viewers are. If you're a returning viewer, just saying hello is great because then I know, so-and-so's on the stream today. And if you are new to the channel and just kind of checking things out, this is, I don't know what this channel is yet. We're figuring it out. And so but I do want the interaction. I do like that. I don't think that this is ever going to be a channel with 1 million subs where there's so many questions going on that they can't reasonably be answered. And if it ever gets to that point, well, it's, a different set of problems to worry about. Okay. Where was I here? How to set Jshint defaults. Okay. Jshint is meant to be configured per project. There we go. You should put a .jshint each of your projects. Yeah, there we go. The .jshint rc and .jshint ignore should be let's see, should automatically, I should say. So VS Code is weird. I've heard people complain that their Jshint config isn't obeyed by VS Code because VS Code kind of creates its own shell and sets its own paths and variables and stuff. So I'm going to use the word will here, but that may not be correct depending on the person's VS Code config. Also, I need to close the window real quick. Just 2 seconds here. Or close the blinds. As it gets dark out, I don't get any of the benefit of the light coming in because it's no longer that nice blue light that's actually healthy for you and helps your brain function at its optimal capacity. And then people can see in through the window, which is not a problem. It's just, I don't know. It's not. If they want to watch me code, they need to get on the stream. That's the appropriate way to do it. Not watch me through the window where they can't even hear me. It's just not kosher. All right. Jshint will be read by code tools such as Vmail and VS Code. All right. How about this? Let's make another section. What are the best settings? Jshint is perhaps a little too flexible. Whereas its primary competitor, JSLint, is perhaps a little too inflexible. That said, we install what we think are the best settings into your home directory. And this would be .jshint rc.webi.json5. There we go. You can copy our recommended settings into your project directory like so by running this command. Okay, and now I'm going to go in there, jshint rc.webi, and then this right here, and then put this here, but let's make this a little bit more readable. Is that helpful? I think that's about as good as it gets. You can copy that into your code project. Let's see. Copy.jshint rc, copy our recommended settings. Let's see. Let's call this convert from JSON 5 with comments to JSON. Convert and copy. Convert and copy. Let's see, to JSON and copy into current directory. There we go. Whoops. Assuming that we've kept this README and that file in sync, they look like this. All right, this should be JSON 5. And then we're going to copy from JSNtrc, Webi JSON 5. Boop, boop. And then go back here. Yeah, that's good enough. Yeah, that's good. List of Jshint's default options can be found here. How to check project files with Jshint. How to manually how to run Jshint. Whatever. How to make Jshint ignore certain files. Oops, Jshint. Create a .json to tell which files to ignore every time. Yeah. How to make Jshint ignore certain files. No. How to apply overrides. Apply different settings to different files. All right, that's the last one I want to include here, and then I'm going to call this done. Oh, wow. Yeah, I don't want to go into that. Somebody can go. Show non-errors. Let's see. Vark tech. Alice, what does Vark mean? I know what tech means. Let's see. Overrides. I think that I kind of want to, yeah. Let's see. ES version, we'll say this is 11. And then let's say we're going to do browser. Yeah, we'll just go with this. You can use the overrides directive to specify different rules to apply to certain directories or file patterns. I'm going to change that up. File patterns and directories. To certain file patterns and directories. There we go. Okay, I think that's all I want to put in this README here. Bum, 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 bum. Interesting. Why are some of these... Oh, that was weird. Yes, some of those were italicized. Okay, let's go take a look at beta.webinstall.dev, Jshint, and let's see what we got. Cheat sheet. Okay. Jshint is community, blah, 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 blah. Jshint works best when it's integrated with the editor. Oh, that's me. Here we'll cover how to set reasonable defaults, how to set defaults, which settings are the best, how to check all files in a project, let's just do this, set defaults, pick the best settings, check all files in a project, ignore certain file and file patterns, apply overrides for specific files. How to set defaults, what are the best settings, how to check projects files. I probably should give an example of output here. I don't want to right now. How to make Jshint, ignore certain files, how to apply different settings. Okay, so the only thing I want to change about this, as far as the documentation goes, is probably what are the best settings. The primary value of tools like Jshint is that they allow you to restrict what you use in the language from everything that could ever be useful down to just safe features that don't cause bugs. Whatever your methodology, different people, now just let's see. Given that Jshint is perhaps too flexible, or there's perhaps a little too inflexible. But if you follow that general methodology, you'll do well. These are the settings we think strike the right balance for software engineering. As opposed to just code monkeying around. Let's see. Like this. Let's see. Whoops. All right. That file is installed to jshint.rc.webi.json5 and should look pretty similar to the above, assuming that we've kept it in sync with this README. Boom, done. All right, I'm going to let that one be. I'm also going to copy this and make sure that all of that made it into here appropriately. It looks like all of it did except for that. Cool. All right, so we got a couple of things going on now, and I'm going to have to break this down a little bit. The first thing that I want to do is actually add Jshint, and then I will replay the other changes. So let me just take a look at Prettier here and see, okay, add Jshint, cool. So let me try this out. If I do export Webi host, and I've got that in my history because I use it all the time. Hey, Amit, what's up? How you doing? You said great. Oh, I guess the great is how you doing. Okay, you might be a little bit further back in the stream. Or no, I'm just looking at this just now, and I asked that question a few minutes ago. Okay, anyway, yeah, what's up, Amit? Amit, tell me, what do you do? I don't remember. I don't remember if you joined the channel or not before. The name Amit obviously is pretty common, but I don't remember Tuwari. So that's where I'm thinking that I don't know if I've seen you here before. But what kind of questions do you have about coding or life? I can tell you how to make a great peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Lots of other cool stuff too. So yeah, I mean, just hit me up with any question. Let's see. What was I going to do? Jshint. Okay, and then that should have given me .jshint.defaults.json5. Perfect, almost. This was a little bit wrong. Let's go figure out what went wrong there. I think I know what went wrong, which is that I didn't use the raw link, and I should have used the raw link. So that's why we test these things. Okay, so Jshint install, and then we just need to make sure that we use raw in Lincoln for that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and try that again. Interesting. Didn't I just... Oh, I need to run it in this one. This is where I updated my Webi host variable. Okay, cool. So that got done. Okay, so that looks good. And then Webi.json5. This does not look good. And I know why it doesn't look good, because I copied over the sh file because I wasn't thinking, right? No. That's interesting. Oh, that's me. SSH add user. Let me see. Webi host. No, that's not what I want. No, that's not. I need the install. Yep. Okay. Packages. Name of thing, name of thing. Okay. So that's what I did, right? Hold on. Let me just check this out one more time. So I did do, and I did use Webi download here. Okay. So packages, JS, this should be Jshint. This should work. All right, I'm going to double check on something real quick. Let's go back to Jshint install. And I've got this, and there's the output file that it should go to. And this is the file that we should be getting. So how did I end up with, let's see what ended up in there. Oh, whoops. Let me go back to the correct computer. How did I end up with this? Jshint RC. Because, okay, that's why. I see how I ended up with that. I have a typo in here. This should be jshint is the name of the package. jshint RC is the name of the file. So let's go ahead and add that. Boom. Oh, and again, I'm in the wrong window. Okay, now if I go open up my jshint RC, there we go. All right, cool beans. So that part's working, and we have a jshint installed. We're good to go. Okay. So let me add that now that I've tested it. And let me take one more look at the README, make sure that nothing seems way out of place here. You know, I could spend literally forever writing and rewriting things, and I do want the text to be good, but I can get too distracted by that. All right. Let's see. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. All right, I think that's good. I'm going to add it one more time just to be safe, and then I'm going to commit feature add jshint. And what else? I'm probably going to rebase this, actually. What did I change about vim.ale? Okay. So let me go try out Webi vim.ale real quick. Webi vim.ale. Wait, is this Webi vim.ale? I'm going to move this one over to the other screen because I keep on getting confused with that window. All right, good. Relevant linters and formatters such as... All right, that's good. All right, but jshint is not installed by default with anything, not even with Vim Essentials. I'm going to update Vim Essentials then, because I don't think that it... I'm kind of on the fence about it. Okay, what I could do is we could... I need to say how do we disable... I don't want to deal with it. Because there's so many linters out there, and jshint is not necessarily the most popular one. I don't know if it is or if it isn't. I know ESLint is really popular, but that one is not actually a JavaScript linter. It's a theoretical ECMAScript linter. And so it doesn't necessarily work on JavaScript files. So jshint is probably the best overall JavaScript linter, but I don't want to turn it. I don't want to turn it on by default. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put in the README here. Language tooling. I'm going to put Jshint. JavaScript linting. JavaScript linter. Oops. Okay. All right, I'm going to put in here schwumpt and shell check. And then along with them ale, where does Prettier get installed? That's what I need to know. Prettier is installed by Vim Essentials. Vim Prettier. Is that Vim Prettier? Okay. And then we say Prettier goes in here. Yeah, because I think Prettier is pretty non-controversial. I don't think there is any alternative that is more popular or particularly better in any way. Prettier is the gold standard. And one thing I love about Prettier, check this out. Let's go to their website. I love this quote. In fact, I'm going to tweet this. Okay. All right. Yeah, this is awesome right here. This is great stuff. So I'm going to make this bigger so you can read it. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's kind of ironic that when you make the screen bigger, it makes it less readable. So that's as much as I go. But I'm going to go tweet this real quick because I just think that this is excellent. I came across this the other day, and I thought it was just great. I'm going to abbreviate it just a touch. When humans write code, they don't strive to reach the maximum number of columns in every line. Developers often use whitespace to break up long lines for readability. And I'm going to put this over at Prettier. Oops, I'm going to link this. Yeah, so quote, quote, end quote, Prettier. There we go. Though I myself find I often like to have 100. I think that 80 is a little short because of perhaps the languages I use or the way I write code or something or other. Alrighty. And I'm also going to go, just real quick, I'm going to go tweet that from my other account as well. I think this is good enough to be a Beyond Code tweet. And I like their rationale as well. So if we go back, the next thing here was the prettier rationale. Correctness. Let's see. So I'm going to bring this into the channel if y'all want to check it out. I'm just going to drop the link here for you real quick. Prettier rationale. Boom. Yeah, see, this is what I was talking about. Prettier is often able to recognize and format non-standard syntax, such as ECMAScript early-stage proposals and Markdown syntax extensions not defined by any specification. Support for such is considered best effort and experimental. Incompatibilities may be introduced, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Prettier is not concerned about. Interesting. Oh, that's too bad. I really wish Prettier would turn ternaries into if-else. Ternaries are evil. They're difficult to read. They're just and especially once people start nesting them. I see nested ternaries and I just want to vomit. Not quite vomit, but it's a bad idea. Don't do it. Ternaries, for those of you that are not familiar with that term, is when you use question mark colon instead of if else. It's not a good idea. It was cute in C for when you could say return a 1 or return a 0. It's kind of, but then it expands and it festers, and it's not worth using things that can be useful at all if they more often tend to lead to complex and difficult to read code, especially when they're not intuitive, just using symbols rather than words. Okay. Anyway, what was I going to do over here? I think I just gave you all the link to the rationale. Let's see. About code formatting as it relates to correctness. Boom. Cool beans. If you want to tweet that, if you think it's cool, here's my tweet. Okay. Now back to doing what I need to do. Let's see here. I probably need to get out of a bunch of these. Yeah, let's exit. Boom. Yeah, I don't need all these. Okay. Oh, Vim shell? Wait, Vim shell? What was Vim shell then? Vim shell? Oh, right. Okay, now I remember. This just sets the bash shell to be bash, or the vim shell to be bash. That just makes a lot of sense. Okay, I always forget what that one is, but it is a good one indeed. All right, so, and what were we doing with prettier here? Git diff, oops, cached. All right. And then where is prettier? Command-V prettier. Give me its location. Yeah, I don't want to put that whole path there. Okay, this is good stuff. I don't know. I guess I'll label this as chore or docs. Let's call it docs. Update prettier files. Update and let's see. Update readme with files section and new update instructions. There we go. And hello to those of you that are joining in. I'm AJ. I'd love to know who you are, where you're from, and what brings you to the channel today. I am just going through pull requests on Webinstall.dev, and I guess it's almost dinner time. And then I think I'm gonna switch gears. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I want to go through these. Let's see. What was this one? Git commit docs Webi internal comment curl intention. Comments about downloads. There we go. Docs example, add template for files section. Humble Ant, hey, how's it going? Nice to see you again. A simple question, why Brave? You know, that is a really good question. And I'll give you the long answer first by way of link to podcast, and then I'll give you the short answer. So let me go JavaScript, Jabber. Let's search for Brave. We had Samson inside the Brave browser with Jonathan Sampson. All right. Here you go. Why Brave? Now, what's funny is that I originally was against Brave. Well, so here's the thing. I think the whole cryptocurrency stuff is all a bunch of crap. I don't care about that at all. What I do care about is that Brave is an independent third party, and big tech has gotten too big, and I don't like the idea of Google being in everything that I do. That feels uncomfortable, especially because Google goes against my political, moral, and religious beliefs in the way that they've been behaving over the past couple of years. They do things that I think are bad for humanity. And I'm really excited about Brave Search. Brave Search actually seems to work better than DuckDuckGo. I think the company that they acquired to do that has got some really innovative technology. So I've been really pleased with Brave Search. And also, it is nice to be on the cutting edge as a developer. I think it's really important to be using Brave from a practical perspective because Brave has more privacy-oriented restrictions in place than any other browser, even Safari. So if you're using Brave, you're going to get all of the great tooling of Chrome, but you're also going to be able to experience what a Safari user and what users who have their privacy settings turned on will experience when visiting your site. And so, for example, if you do that, then you'll find out that if your site breaks because you have some sort of stupid ad tracker on your homepage and your main JavaScript never loads because your ad tracker wasn't able to increment its visit counter, that shouldn't break your website, right? But there are so many websites out there that will break because their ad tracker is doing something that it shouldn't. And so you don't want to be building sites where because you increment a counter that the site completely breaks. So that's and that's going to happen not just with Brave, but pretty much with any sort of ad blocking that's going on. I think Brave's ad blocking and tracking blocking is just a bit better than what else is out there. So yeah, and I really love Brave Sync. That is a key selling point for me. If I'm talking about, hey, why should you use Brave? Brave Sync is awesome. It is different than Chrome Sync. The main thing is that the passwords are safe. So I don't actually like that. There is a benefit with using Google's password sync that Google will notify you, hey, this password's been compromised. But since the landscape has changed, since Brave has been around, auto-generating random passwords has been a part of browsers, or at least since I've been aware of Brave. So I would say that Brave, it gives me a better experience as a developer and a better experience as a user. As far as the basic attention token and all that, I'm not bought into it. I don't care. But for me, that's not the selling point. That's not why I don't tell anybody, oh, you should use Brave because it's got a crypto wallet built in. No, that sounds like a scam to me. And I brought this up in the podcast because I was predominantly against the whole idea of Brave at the time that we did this podcast. And I gave Samson a lot of crap. But over time, I came around and I realized it really is the best browser available right now. I think that Firefox is probably worth another try. I think they've done a lot of things to make Firefox faster and less memory intensive, which is something that Chrome once was touted for, but since has kind of fallen in last place. Anyway, is that a sufficient answer for your question? Also, see, I've been thinking that maybe I should do snippets. 153.37. And so I think that was a great question, and I think that would make a good snippet. So I'm going to tag that. Okay. Just so I have it for reference. I might extract that a little bit. Anyway. Let's see here. So where am I back to now? I had the add shell check. I was seeing what I should do. Add template for files section added to the docs. Yeah, that's good. Then Vim Ale. What did I change about Vim Ale? This is just docs again as well, right? Vim Ale. Okay. This is going to be docs. Vim Ale. Suggest linter plugins to install. Them essentials. And then we want to put in here also Jshint. JavaScript linting. Works with them ale. But not everybody is a JavaScript developer, so I don't want to include... Well, it's already including all of Node, so I don't know. I just think this is the appropriate thing to do. All right. Get diff cached. All right, this is a feature. Feature. Them essentials. Include schvumpt and shell check. Suggest Jshint. All right, let me do rebase against, was it main? Check out main here. Git checkout them. I think I called it vim bash. So git rebase -i main. Whoops, not git, just git. All right. Okay, so one thing that I might do here, that should be all good. I wonder, comments about downloads, a template for files section. I'm just going to replay those up ahead of this. Yeah, those all seem to go together. Let's play it in that order. Git push fu origin vim bash, right? You are welcome so much. And by the way, for everybody, if any of this is useful or entertaining, give it a like and share with someone that you like. But otherwise, give it a dislike. And here's the thing. Well, first let me finish that thought. And share with someone that you don't like. But here's the thing. I'm really upset about the whole dislike button bit. They said that it's quote unquote for creators' health, which is complete crap. Because I can still see the dislikes. But you can't see the dislikes. So really, it's not about that at all. What it's about is controlling perceptions. And I 100%, without any question, believe that it is in direct correlation to certain public officials who have made certain statements that the general populace of the world don't like and downvote. So by removing the downvote count, you only see how much people like it. You don't see how much people dislike it. But as a creator, that whole thing they said about, oh, it's for the creator's mental health because criticism can be hard. No, complete bogus nonsense. People that become super popular on things like YouTube that can get thousands of dislikes, they've overcome that part of themselves. And like I said, if you go into the creator studio, you still see it anyway. So that's a bunch of garbage. Nonsense. Ah. Okay. Anyway, All right, this is good. This is really, really good. It's in a really good place. I just need to continue now. Let's go back to... What? Oh, yeah, it's not there yet. That makes sense. Okay, we're going to go here. And we're going to go to pull requests. And I just updated this one. Let me check that the check marks are checked. Yes. I updated that one. I'm going to roll it into something else. Add make workflows. I don't actually understand this one yet, and I told him that I want to review it. I'm not going to review it right now because I'm not going to get into this, but I don't quite understand what this was from looking at his README and whatnot. So, but we'll get that later. Okay, fixing the Windows curl call. This is perfect. I need to find out if this is a categorical error. So that is a problem I just need to check for real quick. What I mean by categorical error is there a category of error like this? Now notice, because I need to search for -A, I need to put the double dash in front of RG. Okay, so it is a categorical error. All right. So I am going to check out his branch here. The person who helped with this, they made a boo-boo, and they didn't test it, probably because they don't have Windows. As a developer, it's really hard to use one, you know? All right. So what am I doing? I'm going to do Webi review. Oops. I think I just need to do this, and we're going to say bug fix K stuff. K installers. All right. So I'm going to rebase from main. I'm actually going to rebase from, well, we'll see. So what he did was probably just great. So let me run this thing again. All right. So categorical error. Yeah. Okay, let's see if we have categorically fixed this. It says to do arch detection. I don't know why it says that. Because, oh, yeah, okay, I think, did I add arch detection or not? Webi UA. I think arch detection has been done. I'm going to get rid of that comment. Let's see where that is. To do arch. What was it before? Get diff. To do. Okay, let's look for to do arch. Yeah, there's a bunch of those, but I'm pretty sure that that was already handled. So if we go to Webi user agent is what the UA stands for. If we search in here, PowerShell, Windows 10, my arch. So I'm going to make a categorical fix to that. Let me, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a git diff. I'm not going to remove that from here. I'm going to do that in a different commit. Oops. So let's do git check out of this one, and then we're going to do vim, and we're going to make the update here. Just get rid of the -L, and it's a double -L because the -L is already here. Okay, so let's do a git diff of that. All right, so we're just completing that change. So star.ps1. Meh. Really? Actually, what if we did it this way? I bet this would work. And it does. So this is an issue of the shell expansion versus the internal globbing. So Git has internal globbing, which is why its globbing works on Windows. It does not rely on the shell for globbing. So if you use single quotes to catch to stop the shell from globbing, then Git will do its own globbing. And I think Git might, yeah, so Git even allows the ***, I think. Let me do this. I'm going to do git reset, and I'm going to do git add ***. And let's see, did it work? Yeah, look at that. I think that's called mini-match. Okay, let's see. Coming back around to questions. I have studied some extended JavaScript, Node.js, Express, Reach, and Python Django, but still cannot make a proper decision to build a website. Technology-wise, is very difficult to choose between. Okay. Here's what I'd recommend. I'd recommend that you use Go, because if you want to learn how to write code well, you will find well-written code in the Go community. Better than in any other community, because Go is built on the ethos of software engineering. That said, you haven't done anything in Go. Python is right out. Python is a terrible language for web development. Python is not really good for much of anything today in comparison to what is available. If you want to do machine learning, Python's a dumb language to learn because it's ridiculously slow. Use Rust instead. You can use all the same C libraries with Rust that you can use with Python. Well, I guess if you're going to do mamsy-pansy machine learning, the type of stuff that you could just do in Excel, then yeah, Python's fine. If you need it to be production level, then don't use Python, use Rust. If you want to build system scripts, use Go. If you want to build web services, use Go. Now, Node is actually pretty good. The technology itself in Node is good. It rivals that of Go. It doesn't rival that of Rust, but it rivals that of Go. Go is better for certain technical reasons, but Node is a good choice. The problem with Node is that you're dumping yourself into a community of people that basically don't know what they're doing. Because it's so incredibly popular, there's more bad information than there is good information. In the world of Go, there's more good information than bad information. If you just take the first pick off of a search query for Go, it's going to be one of 3 or 4 different websites. It's going to be your basic, it's going to be Go by example, it's going to be the official Go documentation, it's going to be a blog post from top engineers at top companies such as Cloudflare or Google, etc., right? If you do a Google for how to do something in Node, you're picking from the bottom of the barrel. You're going to get some of the worst answers. So although technologically, I think that Node is a great solution, and it's certainly very popular, it's not going to put you in a community where you're being lifted up to learn from people who are above where you are. You're going to be dragged sideways across people who are at the same level as you. And it's going to be very difficult to discern between people who know what they're talking about and people who don't. That's my main beef with the Node community. That said, you have to learn JavaScript anyway. So I'd recommend that you learn Go on the back end so that you can learn good engineering principles. And then write JavaScript on the front end and take what you learn from Go and try to write JavaScript in that way. Don't try to write JavaScript in the way that the people in TypeScript and the people in React and all that are trying to teach you how to write it, unless that's what you want to do. Try to take what you learn from Go and try to say, how can I write my JavaScript like this? Because it's almost a one-to-one pairing. The way that Go does structs and functions and async is almost one-to-one with the way that JavaScript does it. Aside from that, JavaScript doesn't have channels. You can kind of artificially make channels in JavaScript, but you can't actually get the performance unless you run them in a web worker, and that stuff gets complicated. And I only know of 1 or 2 projects where they actually increased performance without making their app crap using those types of strategies. Anyway, but analysis paralysis is the worst thing. So the worst thing that you could do is take my advice and get more analysis paralysis and not make a decision. If you need to make a decision based on what you've got, I recommend that you use async router. So I'm just going to put a link to this. Here we go. Express async router. Boom. Use that and go do stuff. Go make things. It's just so difficult as a beginner right now because everyone is a beginner. It's almost like the classroom ratio in school. Well, here in America, we have this issue where there's one teacher to 30 students or 40 students. I guess in other countries it's worse. In college, it's for your low-level classes, it's one teacher to 1,000 students. But there's not a lot of education able to happen, and that's basically what's happening in web development right now. And the people who gain traction in the web development community are not necessarily the people who are good. It's the people who are marketable. And being marketable doesn't make you a good engineer. It makes you marketable. So you're likely to reach more people. So if we could make the good engineers marketable, then we'd do something great for humankind. But I don't know how we go about doing that. So I don't know. CS50. I also did CS50. So I'm guessing that you mean computer science 50 as in the introductory class to computer science. 50 makes it sound as though it is not yet 100 level. So it's a pre-computer science course, a discovery course. I guess if you entered in directly into the major, you'd probably skip it. I don't know what CS50 means. Also, MIT has weird numbers for their courses. I'm just going off of what I know around here. Around here, it's either hundreds or thousands. We don't do tens. If it's tens, then it's, like I said, it's an introductory course or something like that. Yeah, it's good. It's good to get some college education. I don't believe in the college system as a whole. I know too many people that have spent there 4 years and then they are making about what you make at McDonald's, maybe a little less. Certainly not as much as a manager at McDonald's, but maybe more than the person that serves you your meal. But I think that as far as software engineering goes, it's really important to get fundamentals of computer science. I don't think you need to go through the whole thing unless you're into artificial intelligence and that sort of design stuff. But I think it is really good to get some of those fundamental skills, even though you won't use them in your day-to-day most likely. Well, you won't use them directly. The thinking patterns you will use day-to-day, but the specific, this algorithm, this data structure, probably not, since that's baked in already. Every well-known algorithm is already written in your programming language that you want to use. Every well-known data structure is already included in the standard library of the language that you want to use, unless it's Rust, in which case there is no standard library to speak of, really. And people just say, we have that in Rust. And what they mean is someone wrote a module for it, not that it is actually in Rust. Software development. I haven't actually known any programs that are software development programs, and I don't know how does that differ, software engineering versus computer science versus software development. I don't know exactly what those mean, and I'm sure they're different from one school to the next. But anyway, hold on, I'm going to check this out real quick. Can't check signature, no public key. Interesting. Oh, yeah, so I can't check his signature because I don't have his public key, but on GitHub it will probably be checked. So yeah, that was a good comment here. I am probably going to rewrite that to, no, I'm not going to bother with it. We're going to leave it just as is. He did a good job. I don't need to rewrite anything that he said there. So I'm going to do bug fix. This K-star and curl-a-l curl-a should be. I'm going to put should be there because that's too many symbols in a row. There we go. Oh, and now darn. Because now I'm introducing things I don't mean to introduce. Curl Webi should be... Oh, no! But now I've got this problem. Ah, humbug. There we go. Is that going to work? Will that fly? No, it will not fly. Grounded. Okay. You know what? I cannot format this the way that I want to. I'll just deal with it. Let's see what comes of this. What does that look like in the logs? Ha! Yeah, let me try that again. No, git commit dash amend, I think. Yeah, there we go. Cool beans. I like that. That's great. So what are we going to do here? I'm going to make the categorical change for the to-do because we did the to-do. We actually did. So to-do arch detection. So I forget how exactly to do that. I think that I'm going to use SD for this one. And I think I need to put it in multi-line matching mode. And so I think I'll do this. I think I'll do to-do SD dash M for multi-line matching mode dot star and the new line. And we're going to replace the whole thing with nothing. And we're going to do that for, and I'll put this so that it doesn't get shell globbed like that. Oh, I think it's flag, right? Flags. No. Let me go. Was it F? Flags, 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 flags. What is it complaining about? All right. The shell expansion is going to complain about this. Okay, we do K star, right? No such file or directory. But there should be K star. Kube. Yeah. We get some stuff there. Are any of them missing? PS1. K star PS1. Is this SD, flags, M, to do? All right, I'll just do it one by one. We'll try this and see if this install.ps1. No such file directory. So what is it upset about? Do I need dash dash flags? Probably need dash dash flags. Duh. That's my problemo. Too much go. All right. Oh, wait. No, I need to do this for all of them. Okay, so... This might be a job for xargs. And I'll check the comments in just a second. Let me think about this. How do I go about this? I go to A through K. K through Z. And then the problem here is that we should probably see, or see something that changed type. No? Okay, so that's everything. Yeah? Modified, 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 modified. We don't have any type changes here. Yeah, of course we don't have any type changes because, well, not necessarily. But sometimes it complains about the whole symlink thing. Complained about that earlier. Something was behind a symlink. Anyway, if we do a diff here, we should just see... Oh, oh dang. Let's redo. Did it wrong. Did it wrong. Did it wrong. Okay, let's try this. So this should actually be pound colon to do. And so this should be any amount of space up to, from the start of line, any amount of space up to do. Let's see, what does this diff look like now? No, that isn't right because that's too much space. Let's try specifically 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. And let's see what our get diff looks like now. Okay, that looks right. This is what I was intending to do. Okay, now let's see if there's any that did not get matched by that because they're using a different type of space. No. Okay, great. So git add, and then this is the one where it complains at me. Yeah, it's beyond a symbolic link. I don't know why it gets upset with me about that, but if I just do ***, which I don't even need to do ***, but if I just do it like that, now it worketh. Okay, so git commit -m docs all. No, this is BPS1. Remove dead comment about Webi UA. There we go. Boom. Cool. Let's go ahead and what do we call this? Git push. And this is not origin. This is, what's the name of this? COD distortion. Whoops. Not JOD. COD. Oh, and I need to do bug fix. Here we go. Bug fix. Okay, installers. To, I think he called it patch 1, yeah? Ba-da-da-da! There we go. Refresh. Cool beans. Now I need to go check out something else because what I'm going to do is I'm gonna fold in a couple of different commits on this one. Let's see. Part of the solution for 221. Would you make the same for Linux Mac BSD? Let's see. Should be the same, yeah. This doesn't quite look right, though. I'm gonna All right, I'm gonna get to those comments just a second. Sorry. All right. Okay, so this does not look right to me. It could just be the line width. Let's see if we back this out. It's just line width. That's why it doesn't look right. Okay, cool. So yeah, we're gonna take that one. We're gonna replay a lot of stuff today, I think. So let me do Webi review this, and we're going to call this one RG alias, so alias RG maybe. All right, and we're going to rebase it off of main just to be sure. Yeah, that's good. And then let's go ahead and check this out. It's part of the solution for 221. I don't like this one. Feature RG add PS1 alias for PowerShell for Windows. All right, now I'm gonna look at the comments. Just 1 second. Fixes 221. C220. There we go. I'm gonna rename that. All right, let me see what we got here. All right, much appreciate your suggestions. Stop doing that. Why are you doing that? Okay. Kai Hendry inspired me to install Arch with DWM. Now I'm running Arch on ThinkPad. Which OS do you suggest? Well, it depends on what you want to do. I think that Arch is great if you want to be learning Linux. If you want to be learning Linux, Arch is wonderful. But I think that Ubuntu is the way to go because Ubuntu is what is on all the servers that you're going to use, right? Well, either that or Alpine. But I think that Arch... stick with Arch for 6 months or so. Just learn Linux. Learn how to use Linux. Learn where everything goes. And then I do think that you need to know Ubuntu because you're not going to go on any server where Arch is installed. That's not going to happen. But I think install Arch on your computer, install Arch on a Raspberry Pi, learn Linux. You could also try Gentoo. Gentoo is how I learned Linux. Arch and Gentoo are great for learning Linux. They're not great for using Linux. I don't recommend them for that. I think that if you're going to be using Linux, Ubuntu is the way to go because it's the simplest one that has pretty much the best documentation, and Linux doesn't matter. It's not important. What I mean by that isn't that Linux doesn't matter and that it's not important, but the flavor of Linux that you choose, it doesn't add real value because it's not the 1990s / early 2000s anymore. We live in a different world. We don't have predominantly multi-user systems at the operating system layer. We have multi-user systems at the application layer. The types of problems that we used to have, it turns out we were wrong about. One of the great issues in the Linux community was optimization for the present time rather than optimizing for the future. We see this with shared libraries. Mac OS has .app folders. Applications go into a .app folder, and that those folders have a certain structure. The things that are necessary for the application to run are in that folder. If you want to install it, you drag the folder into your applications folder. If you want to uninstall it, you drag it from the applications folder into the trash, and that is that. It's things that require drivers and kernel changes aside, right? And we're starting to get that for Linux with things like Webinstall.dev, and there is another project that's fairly popular. I can't remember the name of it right now, but the idea that you should have to manage your system and manually go do all of these security updates and yada, 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 just no. It's not. So if you want to tweak your system for gaming and, fun roll loops and all that, go ahead for fun. But for just using Linux as a utility that provides a platform to run web applications, not Arch, Ubuntu. And, some people would argue CentOS, but I think that Debian has kind of won the war, and Ubuntu is, the Ubuntu server is great. And what you're going to get on DigitalOcean and whatnot with Ubuntu is going to be great. It's going to be slim, trim, secure, etc. Okay, Linux versus BSD. I hear a lot of people say the BSD is better, but again, you're not going to find BSD production systems. I don't know what benefit you would get out of BSD. Well, Mac is BSD, iPhone is BSD. So let me back up a little bit. Oh, excuse me. But as a web developer, you're not going to be interacting with BSD very often, if at all. As an iPhone developer or an iOS developer or a Mac OS developer, you're interacting with BSD literally every day. That is your whole world is BSD. But in terms of installing BSD on your PC laptop, I don't know that that's going to make you a better iOS developer. I don't know if the things that you learn there from FreeBSD is going to apply to Darwin BSD. So, yeah. You also got to know me from him. Yeah, Kai's been really great. I guess he's a pretty popular guy because so many people have come to the channel through Kai. And I've started watching some of his videos, and he does some cool stuff. He's definitely more on the IT side of things, and that is great. But yeah, I've appreciated him sending people my way, and I hope to reciprocate that, although I don't think I have as big of an audience as he does. Okay, so let me see what I'm up to here. I don't think there's any other changes to do with this. I think I think this just needs to be retitled to ripgrep rg alias. See there. That's what we need for this one. Okay, so that one's ready to go. So 1, 2, 3, these are ready to go. This one should be ready to go. let's see. There was a conversation about the host triple. I need to go find that conversation and link that in here. So host triple, so that I have reference to it. I think the most important thing that I do that's different from what other people do is document. I am big on documenting stuff. Number of stars is going up. I want it to go up faster. I don't know exactly how to do that. I think it's going to go up faster as it goes up faster. It's going to get that. It's going to hit that acceleration curve at some point. But it would be awesome if everybody who used Webi put a star in here. It's only been about 3 weeks now since we started spamming for stars, and so we are getting a few. I'm super excited about that. But I really, what I want to hit is 10,000. I think that's where we should be at. But 100,000 or 1,000 is a good first step, and I think that we're going to get there relatively soon. Fingers crossed within the next 6 months. And I think that curves, now that we're actually promoting, hey, star on GitHub, I think it's gonna go up. Anyway, I was looking for host triple here. Let me see if I can find this. Host triple. No, okay. So I think what I need to search for then is unknown, because I remember making a comment about why is Linux unknown? Okay, needs fallback for various ARM builds. Okay, there was, I got schooled. Was it here? Okay, this works. This one. This is the comment, I think. I think this is the comment. And this one was too. Target triple, that's what it's called. Platform support, target triple. Okay, these are the two comments that I need to bring over to that other issue so that when I look for it in the future, I can find it. Oh wow, this was such a good thread. Let's see. Back to here. See answers from, I'm not going to put them here. And then what was the other one? Okay, so in this particular case, I think I did the wrong thing. Because I think I said if it's not marked, I'm going to say, instead of see answers, I'm going to say see these comments. And then maybe I should just pull in the relevant part here. Copy link address. And these resources. Bump. And then what's the other one here? All right. The audience does not matter. Well, it's nice. The more, how to say this? Capitalism functions along a certain level, which is that if you are able to create value for other people that they are able to understand and enjoy, then you will get value in return. So social capital is follows this. So I want to get a greater audience, not because I want the number to tick up, although that is gratifying to see a number tick up. But if I am reaching a broader audience, it means that I am providing value. I am doing things that are good for the world and for individuals. And so I want to get a bigger audience because I want, if I am doing what I should do to be a better contributor, then that should result in a larger audience. So it is an indicator. So he and I have both had channels for 10 years. He's been much more consistent. I can see he posts about every week. I was not doing anything for years. I would, maybe once or twice a year, I'd post a video, and I'd post a really good video and it'd get 10,000 views, but I wasn't consistent about it. Not all of my videos got 10,000 views, but a lot of them did, especially in the early days when there was no resources online for how to become a developer. But he's been, more consistent about it. And so he has garnished more of a following, and it is a testament to the value that he is bringing to the table for others to enjoy. So I think audience size does matter from that regard. We want to maximize our audience sizes as a result, not as a target, but as a result of increasing the quality of value that we bring to people who can take advantage of it. So, and I appreciate that you admire us both. Thank you. And I appreciate that you like my personality. And I am glad that you are no longer confused about the OS. You are welcome. Cool. Okay, let's see. And your earlier comment, you said something about feel guilty of interrupting you. No, we're coding and we're hanging out. So this is good. I love this. This feels really good to me, to be able to have conversation and to chat. I love it. I think this is the good part. Oh, I think it is dinner time. So I think I'm going to have to finish this up real quick. And then, let's see. Boop, boop. Okay, hold on just a second here. Oh, I need to do this triple detection. Okay, so when I come back from dinner, I'm gonna be gone for dinner for an hour or so. Okay, sweetie, I'm coming out just a second. When I come back, I'm gonna finish up these. I guess I'm gonna try to go through this one. I'm just gonna leave for later. I'm not ready to do it yet, or maybe I'll make some progress on it. But these two, I want to see what's in here, and then I'll merge those in. Oh, this is a bunch of changes. Oh, hot dog. Who did all this? Did I do all this? Oh, I think in a way, this may have already been done by somebody else, so some of that may not be relevant anymore, because somebody else did it, and I prefer other people's commits over my own when we both do the same work where I can. And then what was this one? Style updates. What does this do? Oh, that's tiny. This is more of a draft of this isn't really a whip. This is a idea put version command and files list in YAML. This is an idea. That's what that is. So that's not something that's going to get merged in. Anyway, so I got to go. Thumbs up if you got them. Thumbs down if you don't. Share with someone you like if you liked it. And if you like what you like, you get more of what you like. But if you didn't like it, then share with someone that you don't like. And with that, I'm out for dinner. Adios. Oh, and goodbye. It's been a pleasure. Nope, not that.